This projector setup guide covers essential steps to set up the Sony VPL-XW6100 and VPL-XW8100 projectors for optimal performance. We'll be covering flipping the image for ceiling mounting, setting the correct orientation in the menu, aligning and adjusting the image, setting up zoom, focus and lens shift while ensuring perfect alignment, panel alignment, fine-tuning the SXRD panels to eliminate color fringing, setting up lens memory, storing different aspect ratio presets for easy switching, and basic calibration and setup. Even if you're familiar with Sony projectors, it's worth watching the full video first. You might pick up something new. Then use the chapter marks in the video description to jump straight to the section you need. In our cinema, we have multiple projector shelves. Obviously, you wouldn't have this in a home setup, but it allows us to demonstrate the full range of Sony projectors. These shelves are completely level, so when we place a projector, we know it's perfectly aligned. If needed, you can fine-tune with the adjustable feet, but starting level makes setup much easier. We've already run the main connections, that's power and IEC mains lead, the HDMI cable from our AV processor, and our network cable for IP control, though this is only necessary if you're integrating with the control system. Before you switch anything on, don't forget to remove the lens cap. When mounting the projector on the ceiling, you'll need to flip the image. This can be done quickly in the menu. We'll cover this in more detail shortly, but for now, I've already focused the projector onto the screen to make the menu easier to see. So to flip the image for a ceiling mount installation, press the menu button on the remote, scroll down to installation, that's the spanner icon, navigate to image flip, and select HV, that's 3 steps up, and this inverts the image for both horizontal and vertical. Proper alignment is essential for a distortion-free image. The projector must be level and centered, meaning it should not tilt up or down, and it should face straight forward to prevent keystone distortion. When you first switch your projector on, the image probably won't be the right size, in focus, or perfectly positioned on the screen. First, you want to do a quick rough focus, so locate the lens adjustment buttons on the remote and press focus. Use the left and right cursor keys to adjust. At this stage, just get it close enough to see the image clearly. You'll fine-tune it later. Next, a bit of rough positioning and zooming, so press the zoom button on the remote. Adjust the image size to be slightly smaller than the screen. This makes alignment easier as you can see the full test pattern. Then press Shift and move the image onto the screen. Now we can check if the projector is truly perpendicular to the screen. Avoid tilting it up or down to center the image, and don't angle it left or right. Use lens shift for all positioning adjustments. If, like here, one side of the image is slightly narrower than the other, the projector isn't perpendicular. In this case, physically rotate the projector until the top and bottom edges run parallel with the screen. Then, use Shift to reposition the image back onto the screen. Now fine-tune size and position. Best practice is to slightly overscan the image into the screen's borders, losing the outer green line while keeping the next line fully visible. Make tiny movements with Shift and Zoom to get this perfect. This takes time, so I've sped up the video, but take as long as it needs. If you completely lose track of position while using Shift, pressing Reset will return the lens to its default center position. Helpful if you need to start over. Once happy with the position, go right up to the screen for a final focus adjustment to get the sharpest possible image. If needed, you can make adjustments in the projector's menu settings for additional fine-tuning. One option you'll find in the menu is Keystone Correction, which adjusts the image to correct distortion if the projector isn't properly aligned. However, it's best to avoid keystone correction unless absolutely necessary, as it digitally manipulates the image and can reduce sharpness and overall picture quality. Instead, aim to get the projector physically level and perfectly aligned with the screen to avoid the need for any digital correction. Sony projectors use a 3-panel SXRD system, which may require some fine-tuning for pixel alignment to ensure the sharpest image quality. To adjust panel alignment, open the menu and navigate to Installation, then Panel Alignment. Change Preset to Adjust. Now you'll choose which panel to align. Select R for red or B for blue. The green panel remains fixed and you align the others to it. Under Pattern Color, you can display RGB together or just red and green. I prefer adjusting a single color against green for better accuracy. Once your test pattern is set, scroll down to Adjust and move the entire panel. In this close-up, I've exaggerated the misalignment so you can clearly see the adjustment in action. Then repeat the process for blue. After aligning both colours, I like to switch to an RGB version of the test pattern. The goal is to get solid white lines with no colour halos, confirming the panel is correctly aligned. If some areas still appear misaligned, change Adjust Item from Shift to Zone. This lets you fine-tune specific areas rather than shifting the entire panel. If you're using a wide screen like a 2.4:1 aspect ratio projector screen, you'll want to save different lens positions for easy switching. Before making any adjustments, save the current lens position. Open Menu and go to Screen. That's the icon with the screen with arrows on it. Navigate to Picture Position. Select a position. Here I'm using position 1 for 16:9. Save and confirm. We're using an Adeo movie mask screen, so I've removed the blanking to reveal a 2.4:1 aspect ratio screen. Now, adjust the image. Use Zoom and Shift to fill the entire width of the new screen size. The dotted lines on the test pattern represent 2.35:1, but our screen is slightly wider, so I'm aligning closer to the black border inside of this. The key is to fill the width first, then center the image vertically. Since this setting is for Cinemascope content, the projector won't display any image above or below where the black bars would normally be. But if we switch back to 16:9 content, you'll see the image projecting above and below the screen. To fix this, open Menu, Screen, and turn blanking on, then adjust top and bottom blanking to remove the unwanted image spill. Then save into position 2. So now we're going to test the position. Press position on the remote and select position 1, which is our 16:9. Notice the blanking didn't switch off automatically. Go back to the screen menu, turn blanking off, and save again into position 1. Fine-tune the position, then save again. A good tip here is to always finish your final adjustment with an up command to help ensure the position lands correctly. Now let's test position 2. This time, the projector moved to the correct position and blanking is applied automatically. Okay, so some final checks. Close the screen masking and select position 1. This time, that looks good. Now we'll load a 2.4:1 aspect ratio movie and check position 2. It's almost perfect but needs a slight right shift, so we'll make some small adjustments and save again. Just like the initial setup, take your time and fine tune until everything transitions smoothly. For best picture quality, Cinema Film Mode 1 is generally the best option for most situations. If you do have professional calibration equipment, you can fine-tune gamma, white balance and color settings to achieve precise image accuracy. However, if you don't have calibration tools, it's best to avoid these settings. Tweaking them without proper measurement can significantly degrade quality rather than improve it. You can adjust the laser brightness and how it operates to suit your setup. For the laser light settings, open Menu, Picture and scroll down to Cinema Black Pro. Under laser light settings, you'll find dynamic control with 3 options. Full dynamically dims the laser in dark scenes and turns it off completely when a black screen is displayed. Limited dynamically dims the laser in dark scenes but never fully turns off. And Off keeps the laser brightness constant at all times. You can also manually increase or decrease laser brightness in the laser light setting menu. The following adjustments should only be made using professional calibration equipment. For white balance, go to Menu, Picture, Color Temp, and here you can adjust red, green and blue for gain, which affects the brightest parts, and bias, which affects the darkest parts. For color correction, open Menu, Picture, Expert Settings, turn color correction on, and here you can adjust hue, saturation and brightness for all primary and secondary colors. Within the expert settings, you can also adjust gamma correction to fine-tune the image's contrast response. With these steps completed, your projector is now fully set up to deliver stunning 4K. If this has been useful, remember to like and subscribe. If you've got any questions, please put them down in the comments section. If you're a UK installer and need further assistance, contact AWE directly and we'll be able to help.